Hi everyone, welcome to another video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Mel, and on my channel we discuss everything to do with makeup and skincare for the over 50 woman. So this is part 2 of my series of all of my products that I've used throughout the year. I call it my year-end review. I find it's just easier to separate it into different videos or else the video would be way too long. So today's video is all about the eyes and things around the eyes, like my eyebrows and my concealer and that sort of thing. As you can appreciate, I try out a bunch of different products throughout the year. So I really try and focus and narrow down to the products that I thoroughly enjoy using on a day-to-day basis. And I think I have a nice complement here of some drugstore and some higher end products as well. So let's just jump in and get started. So we're going to first start off with the eyebrows. So two products that really stood out for me this year for eyebrow products. One is a drugstore product and one is a little bit of a higher end product. So the first one I want to show you is the Maybelline Build a Brow. Now this is a different type of formula because it is a liquid eyebrow pencil. But this one gives really precise hair-like strokes. And I was going to say, if I forget to tell you what shade and that sort of thing I'm using, I will have everything listed down below in the description box for you. So everything will be there. So like I said, this is really precise. Even though it's a liquid, it really defines my eyebrows and lets me draw them in. And then on the other end is a wax, and that helps to keep the brow hairs in place. So it's a little spoolie and it has just like a little bit of product on it. I do find it's very easy to work with. I'm always a little bit apprehensive using liquid on my eyebrows. I think I'm going to make a mistake, but this was very user friendly. And then the product that I'm using on my brows today is actually a new one that came out by Merit. This is the Merit Brow 1990. I have this one in the shade dark brown. This one I fell in love with because I do tend to gravitate more towards like pencil type of products. It has a super soft spoolie on the one end, and then on this end is the pencil. Now, the only thing I will say as a warning, and they do actually say this as instructions for this pencil, just bring it up ever so slightly. If you bring the product too far up, it will snap on you. So like I said, just a word of warning. So I usually extend it about that much. So you can see it's barely coming out of the package. What I like about this is it deposits the product precisely, very easy to work with. Because it is such like a nano pencil, it does give beautiful hair-like strokes. So the top one is the Merit and the bottom one is the Maybelline. But there's just something about the pencil. Love it. Very precise. And the product doesn't fade at all. Now, a great color corrector that I discovered this year, and I think it was new this year, is the one by NYX. This is the NYX Pro Fix Stick. Now, I did pick this up in a couple of different shades. I picked up the Brightener to brighten my under eyes, but I also picked up the shade Dark Peach, and that is going to help neutralize that darkness that I have under my eyes. I like the convenience of a stick product, and this is extremely creamy. As I would put it on under my eye, it's not drying my eye out. It doesn't look cakey. It helps the concealer apply better. There is several different shades for all different skin types, and it really does help the darkness under my eyes. And then the color corrector that I'm wearing today under my eyes is the one by Sigma. This is the Spectrum Color Correcting Duo. I have this in the shade light to medium. Now what I usually do with this is it's a 2-for-1. So it is a brightener, but it also has that peach shade for color correcting. That's what it looks like. So what I usually do is apply it underneath my under eye, and I let it sit for a few minutes before I start applying my concealer. This product leaves my under eyes looking super hydrated, never cakey, and I find it does help with the concealer not creasing. You can see how it gives that little bit more brightening effect. But you can use these just as a single as well. Like you can use the peach color if you want to just do color correcting, or if you want brightening, then just use the brightener. I personally, like I said, I usually just apply both of them, and it gives me the color correcting and also the brightening effect. But great find for me this year. So where do I even start now with this concealer? This was a fantastic find of a drugstore concealer at the beginning of the year. It is the L'Oreal True Match. This is a serum concealer. It just blew me away. This had so many check the box marks on it. So first off, it has an eye serum in there. So it's just going to make your under eyes super hydrated. 2, it has hyaluronic acid in it. It has caffeine in it. So the hyaluronic acid is going to make your under eyes more like radiant and hydrated. And then the caffeine is going to help brighten your under eye area, especially if you have dark circles. I find it's really been helping me with that. It's also supposed to help with any puffiness under your eyes as well. Again, you have to use it over a period of time to see those results. It's very lightweight feeling. It doesn't crease on me. Like it is, I think that's what blew me away at the very beginning, is it's one of those concealers that just doesn't crease on me. I hardly ever set this with a powder. I find it looks just beautiful under the eyes without it. Again, that's on my skin type. If you have more oily skin, you probably do want to set it. It lasts all day for me. It doesn't do a lot of fading by the end of the night. The coverage is amazing. I love the little applicator. It's not like your normal doe foot applicator. It has just it's a really cute little, it almost looks like a little foot and fits precisely under the eye area. And it comes in a decent amount of shade ranges. I have this one in the shade N3, which is light medium. So this was probably one of my great finds for a concealer from the drugstore this year. And then if you were looking to try a higher end concealer, then I highly recommend the Haus Labs. This is a Triclone Skin Tech Concealer. I had this one in the shade Fair Peach. What a lovely, lovely concealer. And this kept popping up. Every once in a while, I would have different viewers suggest to me, hey, have you tried the Haus Labs concealer? It's really good. You'd think you'd really like it. So then I did finally break down and tried it. And then surprisingly, I bought it a long time ago. And then when the Allure Beauty Awards came out, this was actually on their list of the top concealers. This one is fantastic for dark circles. It's not drying under the eye. I find this one almost gives like a blurring effect to the under eye area. The coverage is amazing. It gives more of a medium coverage, but you can build it up. Especially in this area here, sometimes I build it up right where I am the darkest. And this one also is supposed to give that deep puffing kind of quality to it. Not shockingly, this does have niacinamide in it, which is going to give some brightening under the eye. And it has hyaluronic acid in it as well. So that also makes your under eye very hydrated. So I was very happy when I finally did try this, and amazing product. Now we'll jump into eyeshadows, and I have different formulas for eyeshadows. We'll first start off with traditional eyeshadow palette. So 2 that stood out for me this year, and if you're a regular viewer of mine, this one won't shock you at all. It's the one by Alter Ego. It's the Daylight palette. I fell in love with this one as soon as I got it. The color story is beautiful. It's those gorgeous neutral tones, and there's just something about this quality of the shimmers and the mattes, and you can create so many different eye looks. I loved it. It was just such a fantastic palette. So I did have it in a bunch of videos, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. And that's one thing I did forget to mention earlier, is because I have had, I'm going to say, all of these products on my channel at some point this year. A lot of times, I'll say multiple times I've had these products on my channel. I'm not going to go into like a great deal of detail. I'm going to do more of a speed review. What I'll do is down in my description box, I'll list a bunch of videos either individually, or I will put playlists down there. I have several different playlists for like makeup videos and drugstore videos, that sort of thing. So I will link those as well down there if you wanted to go check those out. And then my second favorite eyeshadow palette from this year is the Sigma Cool Neutrals palette. A beautiful, beautiful color story. Kind of a little bit like some of these shades I would say are out of my comfort zone of what I usually use. They are more on the cool side. You can create some beautiful, beautiful looks with this palette. A mix of mattes and shimmers. When you look at some of these shades, like this one here almost looks, I don't think the camera can actually pick it up. It almost looks like a midnight blue. It is just stunning and would create, like if you do a smoky eye, that is the shade to use if you're doing a smoky eye. Second favorite palette of the year. And then I think this brand just is so underrated, but they do have some lovely products. So if you are somebody that just likes single shadows, because I actually don't mind doing single shadows, I find that you can be more strategic that way. If you're using an eyeshadow palette, like sometimes you don't even use all the shades, right? So if you go and invest in single eyeshadow palettes, most likely you're going to be using those shades. You've specifically purchased, you know, specific shades. So I think these are great. So the one is Clarins, but it's the shade that I think is just fabulous. And it's called Pearly Rosegold. Now I am wearing this one on the center of my lid today, and I'll show you the shade that I'm wearing on my whole entire lid. But this one is so beautiful. There's just something about this shade. I just can't get enough of it. You can see it right here. It's a nice, subtle, like a creamy vanilla shade, but just gives enough sparkle right in the center of my eye. And I always use it as a topper. But the one thing about these ones in particular is they have a primer infused in them. So you don't even need, like if you were to buy a bunch of different shades and use those, you wouldn't even need like an eyeshadow primer. The eyeshadow does it for you. They are extremely pigmented. I'll say that they're more of a creamy type of powder and blend in beautifully. The product that I'm using, that I used all over my mobile lid and right up to my brow bone today, is the Lancome. This is called the Liquid Eye Blusher, but I fell in love with this shade. It's called Desert Sand, almost like a caramel color. And when you put it on your skin though, can you see it almost looks taupey? And it has a little bit of a shift to it. But I think this is beautiful for mature eyes. I find that it doesn't enhance the crepiness at all. And it has, I'm going to say like a little bit of shimmer to it. But like I said, it doesn't go all into the folds and everything like that on my, like, because if I wear like a really dry powdery eyeshadow, all of my fine lines on here, my crepiness, that'll all just, it's just like a strobe light. But these ones here just glide on, like they're just beautiful. So if you're looking for like a liquid eyeshadow, that one's a good one. And then I have a few eyeshadow sticks. So a great find was by Covergirl. This is called the Clean Eye Color. I have this one in the shade Bronze Glow. So it's just like a stick. And I love stick formulas because you can just throw it on and you can either use a brush to blend it in or use your finger. Whatever's, you know, just like the quick and easy way to get out the door. But they have a whole bunch of different shades. So this is it right on here. But look how nice and subtle that is. Very creamy formula. I never have any issues with it like not blending in. Doesn't accentuate my crepiness at all. So another great product for mature skin. And I like just how the versatility of it. These are so easy for traveling. Just throw them in your makeup bag. And I mean, they're not taking up any room at all. So great find from the Covergirl brand. And also, if you are familiar with my channel, you know that I love the brand Prometics. And no, this is not being sponsored by them. I just love their products. They are specifically designed for over 50 women, mature women. I love that. I appreciate that when a brand does that. They cater to us mature ladies. You know, our skin is just different. Let's be honest. So whether we've got, you know, issues going on with fine lines, we've got issues with sagginess, like anything, you name it, they have makeup designed for us. Well, one of the things that they developed this year are shadow sticks. So these are called Brighteners, and they're illuminating eyeshadow for women over 50. Now I do have 3 shades, and I have been using these a lot because I love quick and simple and easy steps for my makeup on a daily basis. It may not look like that when I'm doing makeup tutorials, but I don't do that on a daily basis. This is what I do on a daily basis. So these are the shades here. What I love is just they glide on. These ones in particular, I just use my finger to blend them in. They don't skip. They have a beautiful, subtle shimmer to them. So what I've been doing lately is this darker shade. I've been using that all over my mobile lid. This shade here, the middle shade, I've been using that kind of all over the rest of my lid. And then this one on the end here, I've been using it as a highlighter right under my brow bone. And it looks stunning. It looks stunning. And because they're designed for us ladies, there's no, fine lines showing, no crepiness showing. The saggy, like the bit of saggy skin there doesn't accentuate any of that. So beautiful, beautiful product. Now I have quite a collection of eyeliners, but each eyeliner that I have, I find does different things and just looks different on the eyes. So these were the true standouts for me from this year. So the one that I have on today was, I think it came out, I'm going to say around the summertime, something like that. And it is the Kosas Soul Gazer Intensifying Gel Eyeliner. So there's a few things about this pencil I like. It is retractable. I have this in the shade Allure. It has a little grip right here. So as you are putting your eyeliner on, your finger isn't going to slip. So that's a nice feature. This is a gel eyeliner, so it does just glide onto the eye. I hardly ever pull my eye back, which you're not supposed to do anyhow, but sometimes you just need a little help. But this one I find I don't even have to do that. I just have it gliding on. No skipping. Like this is waterproof and it does stay all day. It has one of those little smudgers on the end, which I use a lot, and I just soften the eye look up. You do, I guess the only negative is you do have to work quickly with this one. So I only do one eye at a time. So I put the eyeliner on and then I just use the smudger to kind of soften the line up. And then it also has like a little sharpener on the end as well. So I love, love, love this eyeliner. I'm not going to go into too much detail with this eyeliner because I have it in every makeup tutorial. So it's the Sephora 12-hour gel eyeliner, but it's the shade Tiramisu that I use every single day in my Waterline. This is probably one of my most repurchased products. So it is a pencil that you do have to sharpen, but the shade is just, I don't know what it is about this shade. It's right there. It just fills in all the little gaps on my eyelashes. It doesn't transfer to my bottom waterline. It's waterproof. Just an amazing pencil. So I love that one. The other eyeliner that I use a lot for my top lash line, and this is actually a recent find for me, but I had heard other people talking about it, so I was very curious about it. And it's, again, one of those brands I just think is underrated. So it's the pencil by Stila, and it's the shade Damsel Dark Brown. Well, this is, if you're familiar with her liquid eyeliners, that's, I think, like an iconic eyeliner. This is the gel version of that because it's her Stay All Day liner. So this one is a retractable. And if you look right here, so this is it right here. It's more of like a chocolatey brown compared to the Sephora one right there. But this one, oh my goodness, does this one ever glide on? Like, it is so soft. And this was just like a recent find for me. I bought this within the last couple of months. Oh, love, love, love this pencil. And precise. Like, it's a very, very pointy end to it. And it doesn't take, actually, I'm surprised at the amount of times that I've used it. I have to do very little sharpening on it. So the product that I'm actually using under my lower lash line today, and I think this was from like Angie Hot and Flashy. She had it on her channel. So I love the shade that she was using. And it's a drugstore brand. So it's the NYX Vivid Rich Retractable Mechanical Liner. It is the shade Under the Moonstone. So you can see under my eyes, it's very subtle. It's not like a stark black or anything like that. Very subtle line. Like, the shade is just so beautiful. I'm going to start using this hand over here now. It has like a brassy, goldy kind of look to it. So you can use this, like I used it under my lower lashes. You can use it on the top of your lashes. You can use it to tightline. And there's a whole bunch of shades in this Vivid Rich line, but they're great. They're waterproof, don't smudge. Like, this isn't gonna like be going anywhere. I've had this on for hours now and it's still not doing anything. It's not fading. So great drugstore find. And then the eyeliner from the Prime Prometics line, which I love. I did a whole video on this as well. I'll stick that down below. But as I mentioned before, they are specifically designed for us mature ladies. The shade that I use all the time is the shade Wood. So it is a brown shade. So that one right there. There is no tugging on the eye. It just glides on. Anytime you're moving the skin around your eye, there always is going to be the chance that more wrinkles are going to form and that sort of thing. So I try not to manipulate my eye area too much. I don't want to cause any more wrinkles than there already is there. The nice thing about this is it has one of those little smudgers on the end. And then it also has a little sharpener. This does come in a whole bunch of different shades, but I just love the brown shade. That's my favorite. And as you can appreciate, I try out a whole bunch of different brands that I use in my waterline. I don't normally do my lower waterline every single day. I know it's not good. It can clog all the little like pores and stuff that you have in there, get eye infections, that sort of thing. So I only usually will do my waterline if I'm filming or if I'm going to like a special event or that sort of thing. But I've stopped doing waterline color on a daily basis. But the one that actually did stand out for me is the one by Tarte. And this is called the Tarte Fake Awake, but it's the shade that I am in love with. It's just called an eye highlight. So it's a retractable, but the shade is beautiful in the waterline. It's more of a cream shade. It's not like a white. I'll even put a little bit more in here now. I'm not going to say it lasts 12 hours, but it lasts a good amount of time. It lasts for at least, I'm going to say 6 hours. So that gives me the opportunity to have a little bit of brightening in my waterline. I find it just gives your eyes a little bit more of a wide awake appearance, especially if you've had maybe didn't sleep very well or you had a late night. I would just say put a little bit in your waterline and it just kind of brightens your eye area up. And then I fell in love with 3 different types of mascaras this year. And surprisingly, 2 of them are from the same brand that I actually stopped buying their mascaras because they were just horrible. I could not stand their mascaras. I dipped my toe back into the market with them. I was just like, okay, well, we'll try this one. And that one worked out. So then I tried another one of theirs and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe they're back. So I'm talking about the brand Covergirl. So Covergirl had just, I'm going to say just, I don't know, mascaras I did not care for. I don't know whether I was just picking the wrong ones. I don't know. So I stopped buying them. And then they came out with the Cleantopia mascara. And I really, really enjoyed that one. That was like one of my favorites. So then this year, I saw that they came out with a new shade. So it's the Cleantopia, but it's in the shade Ultramarine Black. So it's like a dark, dark blue. Like a midnight blue. Hopefully the camera can kind of pick up the blue tone to it, especially like right here on the wand. It just looks stunning. Like the shade is just stunning. I love the formula. The formula gives me lengthening. It gives me volume. It doesn't clump. Like it's one of those mascaras where you can just sit there and apply it and apply it and apply it and it doesn't clump on you. It doesn't fade. It doesn't flake. I'm going to say, even though it's not a tubing mascara, it removes pretty easily at the end of the night. And then the other one that I tried from Covergirl is the 3D Eye Enhancer, but I tried the shade Dark Chocolate. So what I've been doing is using this one on my bottom lash line. It gives a softness to the eye. Rather than putting black on that bottom one, I find it just, I don't know, maybe if it's picking up on the camera or not, but it just is giving some really subtle kind of appearance to my bottom lash line. And I get it, not everybody does their lower lash line. I just prefer to do I'm one of those people that I like to do my lower lashes. So I think that this shade was just amazing, and the formula was great. Even when I use it on my top lashes, again, the formula was awesome, wasn't clumping on me. The wand has a curve to it. So that was a great find. And then this just won my heart over this year for mascara. And this was not a new mascara that came out. It was just new to my collection this year. And it's the Milani Anti-Gravity. So I think I've had it pretty much in every makeup tutorial for the last, I don't know, 8 months. This is a different tube. I haven't been using you only should be using mascara for about 3-4 months. And then you should be tossing it and getting a new one. I immediately can find that when mascara starts getting a little bit old, they will start flaking on me. And also it feels just drier when you put it on your lashes. So that's when I know to toss it. But the formula for this one is just amazing. It has an hourglass type of wand to it. I guess the only negative with this one is it has the wand that one of those ones that has kind of like the spiky little brush head on it. So that's my only, I guess, negative, is just be careful when you get it close to your lashes and your eyes. I have poked myself in the eye by accident. Gives me lengthening, gives me volume, doesn't flake, lasts throughout the day. And it's one of those ones where it just gets in, even all into these little tiny little hairs in here, gets all into those ones. So this was just my favorite mascara of the year. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video on all about the eyes for this year. Don't forget to check out my next video, which will be coming out shortly, and that is going to be all about the lips. And believe me, I've got a lot of stuff going on with the lips. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe if you're not already. Everything that I talked about today will be linked and listed down in the description box. And as always, I hope everybody has a great week and a great life, and I'll see you all very soon in my next video. Bye!